my literal business marketing degree that put me in a cute $80,000 in debt. I've been applying to marketing jobs fucking for weeks now. And the pay cut is insane. I'm a almost 25-year-old, my birthday soon, almost 25-year-old chick going against, corporate ass America, people with so much experience. All I got is my degree. People say, get your degree, but then they don't talk about how you need experience. The degree was the experience!
Can anyone explain to me how I have 2 degrees? I have 2 degrees. Oh, and a certificate. I'm trying to apply for jobs right now, and the thing is that the only person I have responding to me is a man from a tech company saying, hey, you want to answer some customer service problems? No offense, but I'm a little more qualified than to be sitting around answering your customer service calls. Bart, okay? I'm sorry, but Bart is the only one who's responding to me. What was this for again? Oh, I don't know.
So I'm currently applying for jobs. I graduated with a degree similar to a master's in public health. All of these employers are literally paying like $19 an hour. Really, how is anyone supposed to live in this economy when employers want 1 to 2 years of experience and they're not even willing to pay $20 an hour?
Prior to 1944, only the richest families sent their kids to college. It was only in 1944 that the GI Bill changed everything. The GI Bill was created to aid World War II veterans. It offered low-interest mortgages and gave stipends covering tuition and expenses for veterans attending college or trade schools. The massive spike in college enrollments following the bill was no surprise. Riding on government supports, soon the 4-year college degree becomes the norm by the 1950s. Since higher education became so much more affordable, college degrees went from a nice-have to a must-have. The GI Bill was even nicknamed the magic carpet to the middle class, because through college, people were able to obtain a middle-class life. The phrase, work hard and you will succeed, was still true. College was a guaranteed ticket to a certain level of comfort, opulence, and lifestyle. However, things began to change in the 1970s when the government pulled funding and student loans started to become privatized.
The reason U.S. student loans are privatized and why U.S. education is so expensive is because of a massacre that happened on a U.S. university campus during the Vietnam War protests. But during the Vietnam War, students were protesting the invasion into Cambodia, and the National Guard was called onto Kent State's campus, and they fired 67 rounds of live ammunition, and they killed 4 students and wounded 9. And basically it resulted into nationwide strikes all around the country. And then basically Reagan was elected, and then they said we're in danger of producing an educated proletariat. And then federal funding for education was cut, and basically student loans were privatized.
Despite a higher price tag, students were not deterred from obtaining higher education following a high school diploma, mainly because the reward was still worth it. Tuition was still reasonably priced, and people were still finding jobs that paid relatively well following college. Therefore, college as a natural next step after high school persisted. People worked hard to get into good colleges and universities. Getting into a dream college was and still a source of pride for many, something that grants parents bragging rights at family gatherings and a topic of coworker gossip. Over the past 10 to 15 years, the cost of obtaining a degree and the reward one gets after completion started to look less and less reasonable. The college to Starbucks barista pipeline was already a thing during the 2008 recession, and things seemed to only be getting worse. Study shows that recent graduates between 22 to 27 years old are the least employed group compared to other age groups. This is perhaps not too surprising because this is the group with the least experience in their fields. About half the college degree holders are working in jobs that don't require their degrees. Unfortunately, this trend stays true even 10 years after graduation. About 45% remain underemployed. You are underemployed if you have a college degree but are not working at a job where you need a college degree. This phenomenon is due to the disparity between the number of white-collar jobs available and the number of people who are training for white-collar jobs. It can be further explained by the study. If your first job after college is in an industry that doesn't utilize your degree, you are likely to remain underemployed in a role that doesn't factor in the knowledge and skills you've earned at your college for the remainder of your career. If you are underemployed in year 1 after college, it's very likely you will still be underemployed in year 10. Very few escape the career pigeonhole. Just 27% of the underemployed people in year 1 after graduation find a job utilizing college degree by year 10. These underemployed jobs are often in retail, hospitality, and manufacturing sectors. See, you don't study so hard to get your degree expecting to work a retail job that you can probably get with a high school diploma, but that is exactly what happened to many. I said probably because some of these jobs are now requiring a bachelor's degree in what is called degree inflation. A college degree is no longer a thing that makes you, as a candidate, stand out, but a prerequisite to a role that previously didn't require one. Not only is college expensive and difficult, with 1/3 of American college students struggling to scrape together enough pennies for food. 40% of undergraduate students leaving universities and colleges every year. The average student loan debt being $37,088. And a majority of households making over $1,000 expected to miss at least one student loan payment. You also run a serious risk of not even using the degree you worked so hard and paid so much for after graduating. The unemployment rate is about 3.9% in early 2024. At first glance, that figure doesn't look bad. It means 96 people out of 100 are employed. But the figure is likely hiding some omitted truth. The unemployment rate only accounts for the people who have been actively job seeking in the past 4 weeks. It doesn't account for the people who have been trying to find a job for months, couldn't find one, and are taking a small break from applying to jobs. Some of these people have given up entirely. They are still unemployed 3 years after graduating. It also doesn't take into account the people who are only able to secure part-time jobs, barely make enough to feed themselves. The figure includes people with any job as being employed, even if it's a bachelor's degree holder working at McDonald's temporarily while they are trying and failing to secure jobs in their chosen fields. The true rates of unemployment tracks the percentage of the US labor force that does not have a full-time job, 35+ hours a week, but wants one, has no job, or does not make a living wage, $25,000 annually before taxes. As of March 2024, the true rate of unemployment is 24.2%, while the reported headline unemployment rate is 3.8%. The true unemployment rate is 1 in 4 people. About 28.8% of women are unemployed, and 20.1% of men are unemployed. The oversupply of white-collar workers is the problem. Not having the right degree can also make you part of the unemployed statistic. Some of the least employable degrees include fine art, philosophy, and sociology. The most employable degrees with the lowest percentage of unemployment rate include education, nursing, and construction services. Having an internship can also help you obtain a job before graduating. Many graduates struggle to find a job after graduation due to having no experience in the industry. An internship can definitely speed up the timeline for you, although it's not easy to get one, and you may have to deal with no pay while at it. In addition, many job openings are fake. According to the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, JOLT, there were 9.9 million job openings in February, much of which are likely ghost jobs. Companies post job listings without an intention to fill the role. Many just want to assess the market so they can better gauge how low they can pay their current employees. Many job openings are also there just to create an illusion of growth within the company, or as a way to keep a catalog of potential future employees for roles with higher turnover rate. Gen Z, making up most of the recent graduates, also faces more difficulty with getting hired, as many boomer bosses are reluctant to hire Gen Z. 62% claim that Gen Z is the generation most likely to cause division and toxicity in the workplace. 31% of hiring managers are steering clear of Gen Z in the hiring process. 94% reported a Gen Z candidate acting inappropriately during an interview. This includes asking for too much money, lacking communication skills, low engagement, dressing inappropriately, and falling short of eye contact. Other reasons why hiring managers avoid Gen Z include a sense of entitlement, demands for remote work, and excessive job hopping. Gen Z is the generation that's the most unwilling to put up with unreasonable job demands for the sake of climbing the corporate ladder, because many have realized that it's a lost cause. You still won't be able to afford a house or retire on time, even if you play the corporate game well. Gen Alpha will likely have similar attitudes in the workplace. This unfortunately does not bode well for Gen Z looking to build a traditional corporate white-collar career, because there are still other candidates. As the older generations age out, the tide may change. But for now, many Gen Z are frustrated. As you can see, college degrees are losing their merit. We simply have too many people with degrees and too few jobs that require one. It gives companies too much leverage to hire and fire at will. It's very likely that many won't be able to pay back their student loans, and will be stuck in the underemployed bucket for the rest of their careers. So much for listening to adults and following the rules. It took a while, and although many are still equating the blue-collar work with the lower class, many are beginning to wake up. Is it really worth all that effort to obtain a white-collar job if you have to take on so much debt while still barely scraping by? Or is it worth getting your hands dirty to fast-track your way into financial independence? Blue-collar jobs are jobs that require you to work with your hands. You are required to perform manual labor and skills trades. Think electricians, plumbers, truck drivers, carpenters, police officers, or elevator technicians. A survey of 1,000 young adults between 18 to 30 revealed that 47% were interested in pursuing a career in trade. More than 80% said there are benefits to a skilled trade over a desk job, with the top benefits being a more flexible schedule, a faster educational path to working, a less expensive education, and less debt, and the ability to be your own boss. Another 74% said they believe skills trade jobs won't be replaced by AI. More and more Gen Z is turning to trades for a career path rather than college. This is great news for the trade sector, as many are worried about their ability to attract the next generation of workers. 87% of the trade workers surveyed said they are happy with their jobs and would choose the same career again. This is in stark contrast to the 65% of people who regret their college degrees. The number one reason for regrets is that of student loan debt. You may have seen memes like this, and for the most part, they are speaking the truth. Would you rather be like Adam, who has a bachelor's degree in philosophy, 100K in student loan debt, can't find a job in philosophy, and believes that people without a degree are stupid? Or be like Chris, who took a 4-year apprenticeship, has no student loan debt, earns 80K annually, and just disconnected Adam's electricity? The financial progress of someone who goes into trades versus someone else who studies something unemployable in college can be drastic. Some of the highest paying job trades in America include elevator technician, ultrasonographer, respiratory therapist, dental hygienist, construction manager, and aircraft mechanics. All of these jobs require only a 2-year associate's degree. Trade jobs still have a lot of stigma attached to it. For a long time, it's been thought of as what the not-so-bright kids in school do, since their grades are not high enough to be accepted into university. It's a slow change of tide, but people are wising up to the potential of trade jobs. It may be worth the stigma if it means you get to make money faster and not be stuck with a hefty student loan to pay off. I don't want to push the narrative of anti-college, far from it. College has lost some of its sparks, but it still has its merit. Having a college degree is still useful. Many of the highest paying jobs require a college degree and further studies to obtain. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, you need a bachelor's degree. According to Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the median annual wage for a full-time worker ages 22 to 27 with a high school diploma is $30,000. For a full-time worker with a bachelor's degree, it's $52,000. Over a lifetime, that's $800,000 more money for a bachelor's degree holder compared to those without a bachelor's degree. Only about 16% of those with just a high school diploma make more than the median income of bachelor's degree holders. The unemployment rate of those without a high school diploma is 48.8%. Those with only a high school diploma are at 27.5%. Those with a bachelor's degree have a true rate of unemployment at 15.4%. There is still a gap between the employment rate and income of a high school diploma holder and a college graduate with a bachelor's degree. Although many companies are removing degree requirements for jobs, those with a degree on average receive better offers. College is also where people make lifelong friends, where many meet the love of their lives, and a place where people form a big part of their adult identity. In some upper-class circles, not having a degree is looked down upon and automatically filters you out of the dating pool. It's especially true in some parts of the world that not having a degree means you aren't sophisticated enough to be in the same social circle. However, this is starting to change as we see more and more successful people without a bachelor's degree. Downsides to trade jobs do exist. Most trade jobs may require moderate to heavy physical labor, and a job cannot be done remotely. If you get into an accident, you may not be able to work. And although trade jobs seem more protected from AI than office jobs, you never know where technology may take us. The last thing we want is for everyone to flock into trade jobs. Ideally, the demand for blue-collar and white-collar jobs would match up with the number of graduates in each sector. The relatively high income and job prospects in blue-collar work currently are made possible due to a lack of skilled laborers. If everyone flocks into blue-collar work, we could see a reversal in income prospects. What we should try and achieve is the removal of the stigma attached to blue-collar work, so people with a natural inclination to such fields would not be deterred. Same thing with white-collar jobs. We still need doctors, engineers, interior designers, architects, and dentists. We also don't want to deter people meant for those roles towards something that aren't made for them. Don't be afraid to go back to school for an associate's degree even if you spent years getting your bachelor's. It may feel like you're admitting the 4 years you spent in college was a waste of time and money, but over a lifetime, I'm sure you'll realize how priceless the memories you made in college are. It's still a nice chapter of your life worth remembering. It's much better than being stuck at a low-paying retail job for the rest of your life, just so you don't have to subject yourself to the realization that you may have gotten there faster if you had gone to get your associate's degree right after high school.